Coach. Sorry, would you mind?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thank you.
Get intimidated by something that looks like that. So day 2, obviously another hot day. Also, I think we're still working on a focus on us and not giving into the elements. I thought today was a little better, but we got a long way to go. But that's the point, and we're gonna have fun on the journey. I like the team. I like the team they're trying to be. We just got to help them get where they want to go. And so a good start to camp, but an imperfect start and one that we got to work hard to get this thing going to where it needs to be as soon as possible. I'm happy to take questions.
Is that kind of how you want it? Like, you want to have a base that you can build. Like, you wouldn't want them to come out here and be like, oh my God, everything's great. Now what do we do?
I think you look for opportunities to push further, and if it's comfortable, then there's no opportunity to push further. So discomfort's a good thing. I think also, again, we've talked a lot about return and production here and all the familiar faces. You can lean on that in the wrong way too. So as coaches and as players, when it's imperfect, you're just chasing the progress, chasing the improvement you want. It's all a positive. Yeah.
Diego has obviously always been a leader from day one since he stepped on campus. How has he even grown in that role after being here a year?
Well, I think leadership is about not modeling. It's about pulling people with you. It's about in having a ripple effect. And with another year here, obviously he's a guy that quickly grows connections. But with another year here, he's allowed for his standards to become our standards. His influence is now kind of reaches from corner to corner in the locker room. The guys know who he is, what he's about, and so there's a more solid identity in that locker room. He's a part of that, and there are other guys too. I think he's helped elevate other guys in ways that give them a leadership voice as well. So his imprint on our team is needed, and it's another year in it. He's another year closer to the kind of quarterback he can be.
How nice is it, at least, speaking on those returners, that maybe it's a little bit of a weight off your shoulders where, hey, there are guys I don't really have to worry about. I know what they're going to put, the work they're going to put in.
Yeah, I think there's an understanding, and so we have to push beyond kind of the process that we took on a year ago. I think you can't, I've said this, you can't copy and paste and feel like that's improvement. So they understand, especially because the ones that have experienced it with us, they understand that the pain of falling short at times last year, the pain of not having enough in the tank at times last year. And so as we push as a staff, there's an understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. That's a huge help because whatever we say doesn't matter. It's how far they'll let us take them. It's the impact we can have with our words, the relationship, the shared understanding, the learning we've had together accelerates that process.
That O-line, you've said a number of times that you think it could be improved. What indicators are you seeing or have you seen so far that makes you think that it's going to look good?
Most of those, I thought we were improved in the spring. So that was in our play production. Most of the comments I've made since then have really geared towards like measurables. So height, weight, athleticism, things like that. Physical presence. I think we look like an SEC O-line right now. Now you got to put the ball down and you got to play. And Coach Nady and Coach K, they have a certain style of process they go through, and it's not easy. There's not a minute wasted on this field. And I thought yesterday that group, the new additions to that group, were acclimating to the way we practice. What that means is when the ball was snapped, maybe they didn't look exactly how we wanted it to look. It's in there. We just got to take the time to get it out. But most of the things I'm seeing are physical indicators, and the attitude's right. We just got to get the experience.
When you talk with your team about what the next step is, what do you say to them?
Well, we talk about winning every game on our schedule. We talk about playing in January. I don't want a guy here that doesn't have that as his goal. So you have this, it's the telescope and the microscope. You have this long-term vision for what you want to get done, and if you spend too much time on that, you forget the steps that are right in front of you that you need to do to actualize that. And we understand that there's a certain style of play we have to take on. There's a certain strategy that we have to play for us to have any opportunity to win a game. And so it's easy for us because of the shared understanding, hey, we know what we're aiming for. Now we're going to focus in the moment on the work. We're going to be super intentional about actualizing identity and strategy in what we do, and playing a certain way that allow us to beat Charleston Southern. That's the opener, and that's the one we got to focus on here first.
You talk about margins all the time. How do you look for margins, for players to win, or if they're winning in the margins in fall camp, without competitive play?
The margins are transitions. The margins are, like we missed 8 reps today because of the clock. So what's our level of urgency in and out of the huddle? What's our level of, we talk about self-imposed negatives here where, if we're fumbling the snap around or we have a pre-snap penalty that slows our operation down. So a margin is eliminating those so that the entire time the pressure's on the opponent. We can measure those things in fall camp. The margins become recovery. The margins become how we hydrate here during the field. So they're all over the place. And we talk about these things. Some of them are more staff leaning, some of them are player leaning. Everyone's got to farm their land and own the margins there to win. And the aggregate of that is a strong and healthy and dangerous football team.
What do you think of the safeties through a couple days as well as some of the
I'm excited about that room. Obviously, we lose a lot of snaps, but we feel like we have a chance to elevate there. I think Coach Rice, another year in the system and really understanding and a comfort level with our system and teaching and our players, I think has really expedited the growth of some of our young talent. Marlon Sewell comes back as a great leader. We added C.J. Hurd, who's been impressive. Dante Carter has, I think, improved as much as anybody in the program in terms of his tactical understanding and awareness. Carson Lawrence has really flashed, and I think has physical tools and traits that, are going to help him make plays on the SEC stage this year. I think, he's just got to keep working on the mental parts of it, which he works tirelessly on, but I'm excited about what he brings and what he can be. Van Zell too. I mean, to name everyone off in the room, I mean, it's a good group. From that, we have to grow, a segment of those guys that'll be able to take snaps. Trudell Berry's another guy that's moved into that room that I think's had a nice end of summer and camp. And so from there, I'd love to see four playable guys. I'd love to see a rotation where we can really isolate skill sets and put guys in position to be successful. We're a long way from defining that.
How excited are you to get into the stadium when it's all renovated and what that's going to be like for the fan base and the fan experience and the football program?
I'm excited about it. Obviously, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that right now just because every minute of the day is scheduled, but it's a great thing for Vanderbilt. I am excited for the Vanderbilt community to have a nice space to watch this team compete. And hey, look, it's been a tough 2 years. We've dealt with a lot. This team has battled a lot of inconveniences. You go through old film, and we're scrimmaging at Lipscomb, we're scrimmaging at Innsworth. We're just trying to find a way to improve. And so we don't take for granted the idea now that we have a great facility to play, but also when we need to go live and work in scrimmage environments, we just go across the street now. It's pretty nice.
Where has Issa improved year to year?
He's a guy that I was just going through making a cut up for the defense on block destruction, and the number of clips I have of Issa, he's grown into an NFL player. I mean, this guy is a top-end prospect. He's got the measurables. He's got the athleticism. He plays the game the right way. He's got a process out here. And so, what I want to see this fall camp become, we take that raw ability and we keep refining it. I want to see us put him in good positions as a pass rusher because he has the combination of size and athleticism that can create matchup issues. But I'm so proud of his growth and his commitment to his growth and the player he's becoming, and I'm excited to see him have a really good year this fall.
Do you think he's already a draftable prospect, and/or what would he need to do or show on the field this season to get into day 2 or high?
I believe he is absolutely a draftable prospect. I think he walks into an NFL locker room and looks like the top end of the players in NFL locker rooms. I think, like anything, continuing to show strength at the point of attack, he's going to have a great opportunity to put on film this year another year of really solid and consistent play in the run game, and then opportunities to get after the passer too and win in pass rush. And that becomes the formula, I think, that grows him into that kind of earlier round guy, which he can be. I'm spending a lot of time focusing on that with you guys right now. With him, it's just about getting everything he can out of tomorrow. And this guy is steady, consistent. He's battled the adversity of, moving from Germany here, acclimating to the American game. There just can't be enough said about who he is, where he's headed, and what he brings to our program.
You talked about the receivers and blocking downfield yesterday. It seemed like that was a big emphasis. Where does that come from, and how did you kind of identify that as a really important area for your guys?
Well, it's like it captures the attitude of your team. So we know those guys want to catch the ball, and we want to give them opportunities to do that. There's only one football, and so how unselfish are we, and how physical are we, and what is our attitude at the point of attack? And when I look at our teams over the last 4 years, now 5 years, the thing that sticks out to me is when that room plays in an unselfish manner, and we learned this a year ago, when those guys are committed to playing down in, down out a certain way, the rest of the team follows. When those guys are consumed with their touches, their catches, what they're getting out of it, and you see them stop and quit on plays that they're not involved in, I think that also sets an attitude and captures a subculture within your team. And so you don't have to look far to see that room functioning in a selfish way. I'm really proud of the way guys like Q, guys like Junior, Loic was helpful in this way, but guys that came in and said enough. This is about the team. This is about what our group can become in terms of our identity. It's been great to have J-Matt out here with them too. That's really cool. A guy that cares a lot about process and about, an identity. And again, they'll unlock success for our team, but it also puts them in the mindset and the attitude where when the play comes to them, they'll be ready to make it. So it's important. It's going to be, key to our success this fall. We'll continue to focus on it. And again, the spirit of that is, what within your role do you love to do, and what within your role is hard. And for everyone in our organization, we don't just get to do the things we like to do, all right? We have to do the things the mission asks of us at the highest possible level. And that's one example of that and how it manifests on the field. Hey, thanks guys, appreciate y'all.